Frankenstein, an 1818 novel that tells the story of Dr. Frankenstein, who created a hideous creature from non-living matter. In the spirit of the novel, Frankenstein's switches, or more accurately, Frankenstein's switches, are a result of experiments that throws different parts of named switches like Kalih Creams and alpacas together to create a monstrosity that is Creamsicle. I theorized that the origin of these experiments was not only because of curiosity, but also because the variety of switches back then were few. Before JWK alpacas were invented, if you wanted to say try a switch that specifically has a polycarbonate top, a nylon bottom, and a palm stem, you had to get all of these parts separately from a mix of different switches, either from Cherry or Gateron, because they just don't produce switches with this specific combination that you're looking for. All that is about to change today. Well, sort of. Actually, on second thought, not really. Let me explain. switches, an attempt by Wu-Chue to provide enthusiasts with a choice of switch parts with different materials. Housings come in palm, arm wipe, and nylon, while stems come in palm, LY, P3, and UPE. A total of 36 combinations can be achieved from these parts. So, how do the advertised 36 combinations sound like? Let's find out. Well, if you are too lazy to listen to all the 36 combinations and you trust my imperfect ears, here's what I can tell you. In terms of stems, LY seems to have a slight mush when I tap on it, compared to the others, and is strangely slightly muted. UP is distinctly the most clacky, followed by POM, then P3, and LY. As for the housings, my results are surprising. I expected nylon to be deeper than POM bottoms, but in fact, they are clackier. The top housing though, is deepest for nylons, but most clacky for POM. White on the other hand, sometimes it's clackier in some configurations, but deeper in others, all else constant. I do not know the reasoning behind its behavior, but all I can say is that it is very random in affecting sound signature, and I consider it to be an unstable joker. So, amongst the 36, my favorite clacky combi is POM top, nylon bottom, with a UPE stem, while my favorite thocky combi is the nylon top, POM bottom, with a LY stem. But hey, why stop here? I'm also interested to find out how they compare against two name switches that I have. Let's also go a step further and compare them against two well-known Frankies. Spoiler, they are pretty close. Switch is a great concept, but it is not without its flaws. Let's first talk about the good things. 1. When compared against switches in the market, the sound signature and pitch is really similar. I know a lot of people recommend swapping out springs in the creams, so buying POM only Switch components actually makes it cheaper and more convenient. 2. You can make a popular Frankie without having to buy 2 or more switches, which can be very costly and produce a lot of wastage at the same time. This is probably the most cost-effective way to Frankenstein your own switch today. Does it mean that if you could manufacture individual components of a switch in different materials exhaustively, then there will be no need for designers to invent a new switch once every few months, right? Theoretically, yes, but realistically, no, because the keyword here is exhaustive. Alpacas, banana splits, Aqua Kings, so on and so forth, all use polycarbonate in one way or another. It is a shame that we don't have polycarbonate as a choice here. I can definitely see it being clackier than nylon. Not to mention, some manufacturers don't even release their own proprietary mix, like the ink and cherry housings. We just know it's some mix of nylon and nothing more. If you listen carefully, you can tell the difference between a traditional black cherry pie and a Frankenstein black cherry pie from switches. Being the creative individuals that we humans are, we are bound to explore even more types of plastics in future, so there's definitely no way to exhaustively produce switch components in every material available. Not to mention, stems come only as long pole linears, so sorry to those who like tactiles and hate shorter travels. After all that testing, do you think switches are worth it? Let me know your thoughts. See ya!